All right, click the links. Join the channel here over at Subscribestar. Got a mailbox. Want to mail me some comics or a festive holiday beanie? Thanks to the new members of Subscribestar. Y'all the real heroes. So Disney is showing kids in a prurient light for Christmas. Because Disney, a BuzzFeed article would be Disney's the Antichrist. And here's why that's a good thing. Bob Iger is actually Beelzebub. 50 reasons why that's a good 666 reasons why that's a good thing. Disney is a tool of the Antichrist? Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm just keeping it 100 with you. Maybe that's a little, a little bit of an exaggeration. Is it really though? Like, is it really? All BS aside, look at Disney. Is it really an exaggeration? So their goal is to shift the window from wholesome family Christian stuff to sodomy and Satan worship. It's an example of you can't serve two masters, especially here, because even beyond Christ and the devil, that, I don't know what, pantheon, if you're not Christian, you can think of it as sinister versus dexterous, the left-hand path of Disney. See, chemistry was going to turn out to be useful. It did teach us about cis and trans and the the mirror image, the left hand. And, it's fascinating because you think of like a lot of that concept about, people in the mirror and the left hand path and the mirror universe. And you look at what's going on now, you're like, yeah, it almost, it almost makes you be a little bit, if you're not religious, it kind of, you look at it and go like, I could understand why people have religion. If the evil is so great and so extensive, and then you look at the Abrahamic model that's kind of being carried out right now, you go, maybe there's something to it. I'm just, So the thing is, people just passively accept this slippery slope into tolerance for things that should not be tolerated. It's okay to say that these gay themes are not for you, your family, and your community, or that Disney is pushing degeneracy. If your values are family values, well, that means a mom and a dad and a tribe, and anything outside of that is evil. That's the definition, and people are not comfortable calling evil degeneracy what it is. I feel like Doug TenNapel or Mike Miller now. Tolerance means you leave them alone to walk the sinister path. You don't do anything other than that, but you don't support them in any way, and you don't invite them into your tribe, and you don't pay them $30 a month for Disney Plus streaming or support Hollywood movies. Almost everything from Hollywood is filthy, and everything from Disney everything recent. Maybe every so often a Godzilla -0 or -1 will slip through the cracks, but if Disney got a hold of it, they would make Godzilla, gay, black, trans, whatever. So the plot of the Naughty Nine is, latest example of Disney's BLT, GV, probably P in the future themes, is co-written by, sound like a bunch of assholes, and they did a movie which was another example of, degeneracy, called Raven's Home, when it had a BLT character played by a male to female performer, Juliana Joel. So the 99 is the latest push to normalize BLT content to the kids. Got to reach the kids at that Epstein level. The film also prominently features a same-sex parent couple. Breitbart reports on it. It's doubling down on this BLT entertainment offerings for kids. So they say the Naughty Nine, which debuted on the Disney Channel, which you don't have to pay for. And honestly, even getting the stuff for free, you're looking like, yeah, someone gave me the passwords to a bunch of these shows or these platforms, HBO and Amazon Prime and all this kind of stuff, Disney, and like I just don't find myself scrolling through it. I mean, once you get a couple external hard drives, and once you fill those things up, you really don't need, you just don't need anything past a certain date. Someone said on Twitter, like, what's the last rock album that came out? And people were looking at Appetite for Destruction, and I was thinking, like, well, what's the last movie that came out that wasn't totally nerfed and global nerfed? Would probably be the Rings, not Rings of Power, Lord of the Rings in I think 2000 would probably be the last movie. So you got streaming on Disney. It tells the story of a group of kids who discover they're on Santa's naughty list for Christmas. Together, they hatch a plan to break into Santa's workshop, into the North Pole, and steal the presents they believe that they deserve. Interesting. There's another video I'm doing for Odyssey on the 3 ways that people celebrate Christmas. There's the Christian, nativity scene type of thing, the Christ and Christmas. But then there's the pagan winter solstice thing, which is a little bit is very rare to see that kind of stuff. People sneak in some elements, but then the other thing that people focus on is just the plastic garbage commercial, the blow up Santa in a helicopter. It's like, it just signifies nothing. That's just the worst of what these globalists have done to America. It's like they take the Christ out of Christmas, but they also take the Euro-pagan elements out of it. Also, I'm going to do a video tonight on Subscribestar first for a few days. Anyway, so they want to break into the North Pole and steal the presents they believe they deserve. So, I mean, like a movie like this, obviously there's no Christ in Disney, but there's also none of the Northern European pagan elements of Christmas, which is, it's a combination of holidays. It's just the plastic F-doll garbage Christmas, the crass globalist commercialism of Christmas. So one of the characters is a teen boy who's probably played by a 20-year-old who is clearly intended to be lighthearted and frivolous, according to the Federalist. And I don't remember what the Federalist is, but I'm sure the Federalist and Breitbart are also pretty good examples of con ops, right-wing media. It's like, oh, they're so based. Yeah, sure they are. I gotta listen to my Shapiro. Fabulous. At the, go over and congratulate Ruben on his new kids. At the 19-minute mark, the character John Anthony, there's a lot of first names being used as a lot. That always throws me off. Is selling clothing from his own designer label, Kanye 2024, where he makes a remark to a potential buyer about a taller male standing nearby. I told that hottie over there I'd sell it to him for $200. Obviously referring to his sweet ass, or no, the clothing he's trying to sell to that hottie over there. That's modern day Disney for you. I got another 2.5 minutes to go to get to that 10-minute mark. So, who's this chick write for? She writes for a bunch of people. Anyway, so 5th grader. How old are you in the 5th grade? Young, awfully young. So you got a movie with like young kids associated with sodomy and Disney, which is par for the course. Finds himself without a visit or present from, I mean, even back then it was like you're getting coals and was it Krampus? And actually I did watch a good movie. It was like a lower budget Northern European movie about Santa and the reindeer. What the hell was it? It was filmed somewhere in like Sweden or something. What the hell was the name of that? I saw it with the buddy I occasionally stream with, Toyota Kawasaki. Anyway, so he finds himself without a visit from Santa on Christmas morning, realizing he must have landed on the naughty list, probably for 5th grader. I mean, probably for just the most abhorrent things ever. And interviewing Republican politicians. So how many times did you go to Epstein's Island, Mr. Politician or Mrs. Politician? Turns out that women are, unfortunately, just as degenerate as men. No, you understand. My wife was friends with Maxwell. We were gardening. Hey, sure you are. Maybe you're hiding the bodies. He landed on the naughty list and feeling unfairly maligned, pulls together a team of 8 other naughty listers to help him execute an elaborate heist at the North Pole to get the presents they feel they deserve. Along the way, they come to realize the very best way off the naughty list is to not to be such F and A-holes, to redirect their unique talents for good instead of mischief. So this is where, if I was making a movie, it would find the real meaning of Christmas. Yeah, you're going to have to throw Christ in there somewhere. Somewhere you have to have the birth of the baby Jesus. Like, to Charles Schultz's credit and Charlie Brown Christmas, is if I remember correctly, there is that scene. I remember as a kid, the scene in there talking about the birth of Christ and the manger and the nativity scene, and that was in the Charlie Brown Christmas. And then even as a little kid, this was a long time ago, I knew that there were the commercial garbage animations that were just about like Santa Claus and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and it had no connection to Christianity, but also had just the vaguest connection to European mythology. I mean, honestly, just barely. And it was just, plastic effed all type of garbage. And even as a little kid, you know when something is wrong, when something is just commercial. And like Charlie Brown was he was making something real because he tied it into the birth of Christ, Christmas, and it was real. And then this other, like, the other, that bizarre animation, there was something wrong and disturbing about it. And I was never the most religious kid or adult, and even I knew there was something wrong with it. There was somehow, and now as an adult, I go, there's just a deep rabbit hole with getting the Christ out of Christmas and Christmas music and a bunch of other stuff. But even as a little kid, I knew they were pulling the wool over my eyes somehow. Like, I knew you were peeing on my leg. I just wasn't mature enough to find out how to articulate it, but I knew something was off with those when people were focusing on Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and there was no Christ to be found, or even I didn't know about the pagan connection until later, and I mean, it's equally fascinating. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys all next episode.